you guys? Welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing this makeup look right here, but I had you guys vote what products you guys wanted me to use over on my Instagram. So if you're not following me on Instagram, I'll pop it right above here. It's always down below in the description box as well. Yeah, make sure you're following me on there in case I do another one of these, because it was a lot of fun seeing what products you guys wanted to see in action. I had you guys vote between a couple of different products. Also follow me over there if you want to see more of like my day-to-day stuff, more about me and my life and stuff like that, because I definitely post more over there than I do on here just because it's quicker, it's in the moment and stuff like that. So without any further ado, let's jump into the tutorial. I'm going to walk you through this step by step and still give you tips and tricks along the way. It's just with products that you want to see. So yeah, please subscribe and let's get started. I totally forgot to ask you guys about primer. I do want to use the Rare Beauty Illuminating Primer because I used this the last time I did my makeup and I really liked the way that it made my face look and how all of the products stayed all day. It looked really nice. So I'm just gonna apply this on my skin, forehead. I did do my brows already. I'm trying out a couple new things just to see how it works. I kind of like the way that they look today. Okay, and then for foundation, I asked if you guys wanted to see the Rare Beauty foundation or the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless foundation, and the Charlotte Tilbury one. So I'm gonna go in with shade 5 Neutral in this foundation. Just buffing this on the skin. I'm using my IT Cosmetics number, I think it's number 7. Yes, the shade is actually really nice. I thought this was my tan shade, and right now I'm kind of in between shades. I don't have any spray tan on right now. All of this color is just from the sun, which I'm still really fair. I'm normally even more pale than this. I've just been getting a lot of sun on the weekends because we go out on the boat on Lake Michigan, and you can see my neck is so white because I laid like this and completely covered my neck, and I need to go lay out this coming weekend like this so I can get that all tanned up. This is a very matte and full coverage foundation, but it also doesn't look like drying or anything. It just looks like your skin, just full coverage and matte. This is not looking good on my nose. It looks like really caked up there. I think I applied too much product on my nose. I always get questions about why I don't apply too much on my nose, and it's because of this. Like, it breaks up, kind of like what it's doing on my forehead. I think I just applied too much and I'm just really trying to buff it out. For some reason, it just like really collects on my nose. So I try not to go directly straight on to my nose with product, because then it does this and looks a little crazy. And then for concealer, I asked if you guys wanted to see the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer. I have used this a few times and it's really nice, but you guys actually voted for me to use the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. I have this in porcelain. Hopefully it's not too light because I don't think I have another shade. This comes out in a wand like this, which is how I prefer concealers to be, like in a wand shape like this. So okay, so I'm just applying this under the eyes. I do about 3 dots under each eye, and then I'm gonna go in with my favorite concealer brush, which I really need to clean this. This is the Sigma High Cheekbone Highlighter Brush, the FO3. I always get asked about this brush. This is technically for applying highlighter, but you can use brushes for whatever you want. I personally love it for applying and blending in my concealer. I just kind of brush it downwards because I keep the product pretty close up to my eye, and then I just kind of spread it down instead of going in directly with the concealer and creating that whole triangle shape. I just find that that's way too much product for me, so I just dot it and then I spread it down to the areas that I need the concealer. And that color is actually going to work out pretty perfectly. Getting around the nose, in between, just to brighten up just a touch with whatever's left over on the brush. I don't go in with more concealer just because I don't need the coverage, but there's plenty left over on the brush, so I can just hit that here and it will lightly brighten up that area without applying more product and caking up the whole area. Okay, I didn't ask about setting powders just because I don't have any other ones that I want to use. I'm going to use my normal stuff, which is the Makeup Forever under eye powders and the Laura Mercier translucent powder. I'm going to take this lightest shade, dab a little into this one, and just go under the eyes just to set those areas. And then I've grabbed some Laura Mercier in the cap here just to go right where I get really oily, which is right here on the center of my cheeks. Is that a cheek? What is this area? It's a cheek. You know what I mean? It's like side of the nose in between the cheek areas. Center of the face. Very specific spot. and I get the forehead and specifically in between my eyebrows. So for bronzer, I asked if you guys wanted to see the new Makeup by Mario bronzers or the Milani bronzer, and you guys picked Milani. This is the one that I actually thought you were gonna pick, the Makeup by Mario one, just because it's a new product, but you guys wanted to see this one. So I'm in the shade Sun-Kissed in this bronzer. I'm gonna use my Charlotte Tilbury bronzer brush and just bronze up the skin. I'm going on my forehead here and then getting the cheeks. This is probably one of my favorite bronzers. I'm glad I pulled it out recently because I haven't used it in quite some time. I always just go for my Charlotte Tilbury one, but this is one of my favorites, especially when I'm this shade. I need to get a darker one too for when I have more of a tan because it's so blendable and creamy. It gives a really beautiful color and it doesn't skip around. A lot of times I have issues with bronzers because I feel like it accentuates those areas of my face where it doesn't accept pigment. Like you can kind of sort of see it in here. Today it's not that bad, but sometimes bronzers will really accentuate that. For highlighter, I asked you guys if you wanted to see the Wet n Wild Hello Halo blush highlighter. There's like a lot of words on here. This actually completely shattered. I ordered this from Ulta. I'm upset that it's shattered, obviously, but the only color in here that I really wanted to use anyways was this one. So all I have to do is just like empty this out in the garbage because this was the main color that I wanted to try. But you guys actually voted that you wanted to see the Catrice More Than a Glow highlighter, which has been one of my favorite highlighters all summer long. So I have the shade Beyond Golden Glow. This is one of the prettiest, most natural looking highlighters that I have. So I'm gonna apply this onto my cheekbones. Also take it on my nose with my finger, Cupid's bow, blend it out with my brush. And then for blush, I asked if you wanted to see Rare Beauty Cream Blush in Nearly Neutral or the Flower Pots blush. That was a tongue twister. This is a powder blush, and you guys actually picked the Rare Beauty one. So I haven't used this one yet though. So I'm gonna go in, let me show it to you up close. Looks like a really beautiful, just like natural color. I'm gonna go in with my Sigma F40 and just pick it up right here in the packaging with the brush and then stipple it on the cheeks. Just like so. I always hold far back on my brush when I work with cream products specifically because you don't know how pigmented this is gonna be. Thankfully, it's going on a little bit more sheer and not so pigmented, but you never know because then you can kind of gauge from there what to do next. Do you need to pick up more product? Do you need to apply more pressure? Should you layer it? All that kind of stuff. So I'm actually gonna do all of those things. I'm gonna pick up more product, scooch closer, and apply more and layer it so I can get more color payoff. But whew, this is a beautiful shade, and I feel like it went on a lot more, I guess, like neutral beige at first, and now it's kind of picking up to be a little bit more pinky as I apply more. And then I also like to bring it into the temples, up on the forehead, down on the neck, and bring blush everywhere. I'm quickly just going in with my Painterly Paint Pot from MAC just to prime my eyes for eyeshadow. This is something that will probably never change, but I've used this for years. It is my favorite eyeshadow primer. And then I blend it in with my finger, and then I'll set it with powder afterwards. Okay, and then I just set that with powder so that the eyeshadow doesn't like skip around on top of it. I'm loving the way that the face makeup looks right now. I think it looks very natural, especially considering I did such full coverage today, which I don't normally do. Yeah, I just like the way that all of the stuff is kind of like blending together. It looks really good. Between these two eyeshadow palettes, I wasn't sure which one you guys were gonna pick because they're both relatively new. So the first one is the Supreme Bronze Palette from Artist Couture. It looks like this up close. I had a look in mind that I wanted to do, and they're both really similar. So this isn't the one you guys chose though. You guys picked the Patrick Ta eyeshadow palette. I have used this a couple times so far. It is gorgeous. So this is what this one looks like. I do want to do a more like elongated look with this because it's been a minute since I've done that. And anytime I have used this, I've gone more rounded with my eyes anyways. So what's really cool about this palette is these two shades over here are creams, which is very fascinating to me. I'm thinking I might use those more into the like the liner part of the look. So I'm gonna start with this shade here. I'm gonna pick it up on a Smith 237 brush, and I'm gonna start by winging this in the outer corner, kind of making an outer V sort of look. I tend to just go straight into the more rounded effect, but I have to remember that I'm not doing that look today. So I'm just kind of wiggling this in this sort of direction and flicking it outwards. Bring it on the lid a little bit. I'm now gonna go in with a Smith 233 brush. I'm gonna use the same exact color and kind of just bring that in the same spot, do the same thing, just with a smaller, more precise brush. When you do this and you go in with the same color, you just go in with a smaller and more dense brush, the color will apply a lot more pigmented in that area because of the brush that you used. So I like to do that, especially with looks like these. It takes me a long time to do looks like these because it's not just what I normally do. So to make sure I do it in the way that I want, I have to be very focused and careful on what I do. I like to work light to dark and just kind of build up the look and build up the shape. I'm now going to pick up this shade right here, the one right next to that, and start kind of layering that shape. I'm going to lay it right here at the lash line and kind of just build that color. I'm going to take a clean brush and kind of come from the top, kind of just push these shades down so they're not going too far up, since I can naturally bring this up and round this out, and then go in with that first brush and just kind of blend out the whole thing. Instead of windshield wiper motions and circular motions and stuff, kind of just blending this in a diagonal like this, from here to over here. I want my little tiny baby brush. This is one of my favorites for creating looks like this. This is the Sigma Precise Lip Line L06 brush. It's a lip brush, but you can use it for whatever you want. I like that it is this like squarey shape, rectangle shape. We're gonna take this shade here, pick it up on the brush, and I'm gonna go with this outer lash line, just deepen up right there just by pushing it, not dragging or anything. I'm just pushing, and then I'm gonna start to create a wing. So I'm gonna go from the angle of the lower lash line, not up here, right here. I'm gonna take that and go out with it like so. And I'm gonna stop shorter than I think because I don't wanna go too dramatic and then I've got wings into my hairline. I'm gonna take that there and then start bringing that in towards where the top lash line is, and then color that in. And I will go over this with the cream ones because I'm just curious how those work. And I don't want to bring this all the way onto my lash line. If I bring deepness over here, it's going to round out the eye, and I want this to be more elongated. So I'm stopping kind of like right where my pupil starts, if that makes sense. Okay, so now that I've got that filled in, I can kind of see the shape of it. I'm going to start to flick this and make it a little bit longer. So just start here and flick outwards. I'm now going to do that on the other side, and hopefully I can do it. Sometimes when I do something that precise, it's really difficult to do the same thing on the other side. So let's do this. That turned out better than this eye. I mean, I still got more to do, but this eye is usually really hard for me to do because it's my non-dominant side. That turned out pretty solid. I'm going to go into this Wayne Goss number 20 brush, and I'm going to take this shade here that we used previously, and I'm going to go right over the edge of that and just kind of smush this product right on top of that liner so it kind of just like diffuses it. And try not to bring the color down here because that will bring the smokiness down, and you want the smokiness to stay up. If it helps to kind of turn your brush up, then do that because that'll help to keep it in here instead of bringing it down too low. And I'm going to mix these two together with the tiny brush and start kind of like flicking this up into the look, and it kind of diffuses that edge just a little bit, but keep the point really pointy. Don't diffuse that right there. You just want to diffuse down here. Just like you also wouldn't want to diffuse too much over here because you don't want this to get too smoky up in that area. In and blend. I feel like my wings should be a little bit longer, so I'm gonna go for it. So now, what do I want to do? I'm just gonna kind of bounce around here. I love this shade. It's a, like, let me put this closer. It's a warm brown, but it's got this like reflect to it. You see that? It's so beautiful. I'm gonna pick it up with a 247 from Smith and just dot it right here on the lid. I'm not really putting it in the crease. I'm just keeping it right on the eyelid and not on the inner part either. Just right here. I'm gonna go with that first shade and just kind of lay it across the crease. It's kind of going straight across rather than rounding it out because, again, I can totally go very round very easily. So I'm just trying to keep it more elongated while also giving some color in the crease. I'm gonna go into one of the cream shades here. I think I'll take the darker one actually and pick that up on this brush and just deepen up the wing here. I'm taking the lighter cream just to diffuse where the liner stops over here. I know this is very specific, but I'm just kind of, you know, I'm playing. This needs to get more blended. So I think I'm gonna take this brush just because it's a little bit bigger than this one and go in with this shade here to really kind of flick this into the look. And then I'm gonna mix these two together and just really stamp that right there where it's the deepest to give a nice fade between everything. So it just fades from this dark wing into the light inner corner. For my highlight shade, I'm gonna take this shade right here and pop that up on my brow bone right here. Oh, that is really pretty. I'm also gonna pop that right here on the inner corner of the eyes. Carry that up onto the inner lid. That inner corner highlight, so soft. Loving it. I'm gonna take this shade here just with my finger. It looks like this. I'm just gonna pop it on the lid. Right here on the inner lid area. I'm gonna take a little bit of this shade next. It's kind of like a rosy bronze, and kind of lightly connect that into the rest of the look on the center of the lid, kind of blending the darker shades with that lighter shade. I'm gonna bring this highlight shade just a little bit more down on the bottom and just really brighten this up. And then I'm gonna take that first shade on a fluffy brush and just bring that down on the lash line, on the lower lash line. I mixed it a little bit with this shade and I'm just connecting it into that smokiness out here. I'm gonna take a clean brush, make sure I didn't go down too low. I'm gonna go and grab my eyelash curler. This is from Reffer. Curl these lashes up, and then I'm gonna go in with some mascara. This is the Makeup Geek, the Extension Effect Mascara, my favorite. I'm gonna really pile this on the outer corner of my lashes and not so much on the inner, so that it can kind of continue that elongated effect. For my lashes, I'm grabbing the Ardell Naked Lashes in 422, and I'm actually gonna cut them in half and just apply the outer parts to the outer part of my lashes to give that more winged out, elongated effect. Okay, so basically what I did is I cut these lashes in half, took the outer part of the lash and popped it onto the outer part of my lash line, and then what was left of the front part of the lash, I cut that in half again and just basically discarded the center part of the lash and took that inner part and popped it right next to what I already had on the lash. So the lashes actually start like right here, but it's like the inner and the outer squished together. That was a lot of work, probably very unnecessary, but it took these more rounded effect lashes and made them a little bit more elongated, and it helped blend my lashes in with the dramatic outer corner lashes that I used from the full strip lash. You could totally just buy half lashes. That would be way easier. Thought I'd give this a whirl. I'm actually gonna grab a little bit of mascara, just this little MAC Extended Play mascara, just to kind of blend what I've got here in the front with what we've got going on with these lashes. I'm also gonna hit my lashes with this very lightly. I don't want to go too crazy, just a little bit softer than I would normally do on the bottom lashes. So time for the lips. I actually didn't ask you guys about lip liner just because I figured whatever lip color you guys picked would sort of alter what lip liner I do, and I always use the same lip liners anyway, so I figured we'd just focus on the lip color. So between these two colors, we have the Dose of Colors Let's Cuddle Liquid Lipstick, and then, which it didn't necessarily have to be this exact shade. I was gonna just see if you guys wanted a lipstick or a liquid lipstick, but you guys picked the Patrick Ta lipstick. This is in the color Oh She's Single. It's a beautiful, beautiful neutral beigey color. So I kind of want to do like a darker lip liner with this to make this pop. We might just tap a little bit of something lighter in the center, we'll see. But I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into MAC Strip Down Lip Liner. This color, it's a very beautiful beigey nude. And I'm just gonna line my lips with this color and overline right by my Cupid's bow. Actually, let me grab, I've got this brush from Reffer. It's a number 2 brush, and I'm just gonna use that to just blend the lip liner in. And then I'm gonna go into the Patrick Ta lipstick and just apply it to the center. I'm gonna grab a little bit of Pink Lemonade from Tarte into the center. I completely broke this though, so I'm gonna grab this with my brush. Ooh, if I can. Just pick it up on the side here and pop it right in the center. So this is the final look up close. I really, really love it. I'm glad I went with a more elongated look today because it's been a minute since I've done one. But yeah, I really love this look. I feel really good in it. I love how everything worked together on my face, and I had a lot of fun creating this with the products that you guys voted on. If you want to see more videos like this, let me know because I can totally do them. Even though I did a look very similar to what I normally would do, it was fun seeing the products that you guys wanted to see in action, and it kind of gave me a little bit of a challenge because I wasn't the one picking out the products. So I can definitely do more of these kinds of videos if that's what you're into. Make sure you're following me over on Instagram. I'll pop it right up here. I don't know if it's on this side or this side, but I'll pop it up there as well as down below in the description box so that you guys can vote in the next time I do one of these videos. So that's it, you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today and seeing how I got this look. Please subscribe, and I will see you very soon. Bye.